Howdy folks, welcome to Maverick Gunworks channel. This time we're going to talk about a TriStar Cobra 3 Force tactical shotgun made in Turkey. Now, as I looked over this gun before we started talking about it, it's right neat. I actually pretty surprised, and I say shouldn't be surprised probably because TriStar makes some good stuff as far as for the price range especially. But this is a really neat gun for the price range again. Start out with, it is a 12 gauge tactical shotgun. As always, we're going to make sure we are open the chamber and we have an empty chamber here. Make sure the gun's empty. You see that. And this one being what it is tactical wise is a spring loaded forearm so that it pushes itself back. When you fire the gun and cycle it, you let it go, it'll cycle it, it actually spring pushes the bolt back itself. That's pretty neat idea. Anyway, we've got our typical push button safety right on the bottom back edge of the trigger guard here, where it may be more for right-handed people typically. And your red indicates that it is on fire mode. So we push it back that way. Now the trigger is locked and will not function. Our bolt release tab is under the bottom edge of the receiver here just in front of your trigger guard. So if you have the gun chambered, you can push the release button here, pull it back, and then eject the shells out of it. And because it is spring loaded the way the gun's made, it does not stay open when you pull it back. So it's going to close anyways. Okay. I don't believe there is an option for making it stay open, matter of fact. Anyway, go looking forward to it. We have a couple of neat features here in that we have a pistol grip for tactical operations. Makes it easy to maneuver in such a manner. We have our sling stud on the back of the buttstock and also on the forward end of your magazine tube. So it already has mounting points for your 2-point sling. We also have Picatinny rail made into the forearm. So you could easily put a flashlight or other possibly laser device up here. And if you wanted to have something that was controllable remotely, you'll be able to pull your cable down and put it wherever your hand is comfortable. Either be able to push your finger here to activate it, or possibly, if you prefer, put it on the other side and have your thumb activated. That always works good for tactical kind of operation there for your shotguns. We also have sighting wise a Picatinny rail on the top of the receiver, and mounted to that is a ghost ring type sight where we have adjustability for elevation and windage both, simply by using a Phillips screwdriver. All right, and on the front we have a fiber optic. Well, let me just put it this way. Can we see it like that maybe? We can do that. You can see the red fiber optic in the front, and it's protected by a couple of wings here. So that's pretty good as far as being protected in abusive situations. All right. Also with that, this gun also has a screw-in choke. So it is possible to replace and put different choke tubes in it. I'm sure TriStar has those available. With this particular package, only one came with the gun, and it is a muzzle brake type device. Holes all the way around it to help disperse the gases to make it easier to control. Alrighty, what else about it? As far as the features of it, that pretty much covers everything, I think. In that I can tell you the rubber grip on this is a pretty good grippy texture. And granted, with my gloves on, I can't feel it as good as I would without the gloves. But handling the gun before we started talking about it, these are a pretty good rubber texture on it, so it's a good grippy texture. Now let's go ahead and take it apart and show you how easy it is to get it apart and clean it after you fired it a while. All right, so we're going to take our magazine tube off, unscrew it from here, left hand, see, left off. Okay. All we have to do is pull the barrel and the forearm assembly all together. It actually comes off as a unit and goes back in together. And there we go. It's just that easy. You already pulled the bolt and the the whole bolt assembly out of it. And from here, you would probably benefit from removing this spring, your magazine. Be able to wipe off your magazine really good. All right, clean off your spring. Probably a little bit of lubrication on this would be a good benefit too, on your magazine tube. since this spring does operate back and forth on it. And then, just like any other thing, as far as cleaning firearms goes, we're going to put some solvent down inside here before we can get to. Clean out all the crud, give it a couple minutes to work, and then wipe it out with a dry cloth. And make sure you follow it up with a good light synthetic product if possible. Use at least a good gun type lubricant. I do not recommend that you use a WD-40. I know I've talked about that before. If you watch much of our videos, you'll understand WD-40 has wax in it, and it's not really conducive to firearms, especially for long-term lubrication. Even silicone. Even I think in the factory book it talks about not to use silicone based lubricants in this kind of firearm. All right, with that, and if you, okay, you can, I could say, take your bolt assembly now, and it will disengage. Pull it back slightly, and then you have it loose from the barrel. Makes it real easy to get to the barrel and clean your barrel out. Same thing. Run your swab patch with some solvent on it. Let it set for 10 minutes or so. Follow that up with a dry patch, and finally some light lubricating oil to follow that to make sure that's cleaned out good. One thing you want to make sure of on any shotgun, as far as that goes, on the top of the barrel right here, this is a scallop that is machined into the top of the barrel, and most shotguns are going to be made that way if it's a pump top shotgun. Make sure you clean the crud out of this slot so that it don't build up a whole lot, because if it does build up too much, you can hinder the operation of it. When your bolt, and this is your bolt from the shotgun, as the bolt locks into position, this tab rises up, and if that pocket's too dirty, gets crud in it too much, then the bolt will not lock in position. So make sure you keep that pocket cleaned out good. And then with your bolt loose, you have the opportunity here to make sure you clean all that really good. Keep your firing pin free. Put a little lightweight lubrication back in on your firing pin. Also on the mating surfaces where you have any metal moving, the hinge points, make sure you have a little bit of light lubrication on that. All right. There we go. With that, and then our forearm here, we have our action bar onto the forearm. With this one, if you want to clean it even deeper to get into all details, you can lift up the action bar and pulls right out. In that case, you can clean out up into here where it fits. Wipe all the dirt off your slide here, off your rails, and then come back up with the light lubrication on it. And one footnote about that: you put your action bar back into the forearm, you have a little bit of a nipple in front of the brace across the bar. Put that in forward first, bring it down, push it forward, and then it'll lay right down in place. And again, with the details on your bolt, in the front back edge of the bolt, we have a recess that is machined into the underside of the bolt. That recess is designed to fit on a tab that is sticking out right here. Okay, so make sure you hook that tab in first, pull your bolt back a little bit, and it will lay right down in place. If you don't have that in the notch and the recess on the bottom of the bolt, it's not going to go back in right. Okay. Now that being said, once you've got that cleaned up, a little bit of light lubrication, ready to put it back together. One other footnote I want to tell you about: a lot of shotguns are made so that you can pop out 1 or 2 pins and take the trigger group out of it and be able to clean the trigger group also. With this gun, you can do the same thing, except you'll have to remove the stock because the stock, the way the pistol grip is shaped, it comes up into the back of the trigger guard enough that you cannot get it out of the receiver without removing your buttstock. So if you're so inclined, take your trigger group out. You're going to have to take the stock off the gun first. Pop the 2 pins out here, and you'll be able to remove your trigger assembly for a good deep cleaning there. If that's not something you're comfortable with, after you've shot the gun a while, you may want to visit your local gun shop and have them do that for you. All right. So anyways, all right, to get this little jewel back together, we've got our bolt laying in position onto our action bar here. We want to position it right on the bottom of a barrel, just like it came out. Come back just a little bit, and you can slide your bolt into the barrel. Makes it really easy to put back in. Okay. And I'll say it is. Let's see if it works this way. Slide this back onto our magazine tube, and hold it just right. Get my barrel back into place. Slide it down. Okay. And I hope I didn't tell you wrong. There you go. A little bit of wiggle. All right. And we're going to put our magazine cap back on it. Snug that down. A little detent, you hear that clicking? And now she's snugged back down. We're going to depress our bolt release, and it does cycle backwards. Now we're ready to rock and roll again. Isn't that cool? Pretty neat little gun. I like this. I think I would enjoy taking this out to the range and playing with it a little bit too. Maybe we'll get to do that one day. But right now, this is a brand new firearm that is in the shop for sale, so we're not going to go shoot it today. Anyway, hope that helps you understand a little bit more about the TriStar Cobra 3. Right? And if there's something else we can help you with at Maverick Gun Works, you know what? Hang on a minute. I think I forgot something. I see my tools over here. I forgot to do the trigger pull test. So let's go ahead and do that too while we're at it. And we're going to double check, all right, that we have, chamber is empty. Yep, I keep this laying here because I was supposed to do it earlier, but we forgot it. So let's back up and do it now. And make sure our safety is in the fire position. There we go. That's about that. Anchor it down solid. Give her a pull here and what we have on our trigger brake. That was right at 6 pounds. All right. Let's do this a couple of times and see if it changes at all. Because typically you may get a little bit of variation in it with a brand new gun, especially after it breaks in and gets worn a little bit. You may have a slightly lighter trigger pull. After you shot it 50 or 100 times, it may get a little better. And actually after you've taken it apart and cleaned it a couple times, it may get better too. It's not going to be a whole lot different, maybe a quarter to a half a pound difference in it. All right, let's see what we have here now. Yeah, what have I done here? What did I do? Oh, that's silly. I forgot the... That's our professionalism, right? Let's do it again. See if I got it right this time. All righty. Come on, baby. There you go. That's more like it. That was like 5 3/4 pounds. So, you know, I'm probably, if we took it apart and did a little bit of maneuvering on it, we can make it lighter than that if you wanted to. But I think for this type of shotgun, that's pretty doggone good right out of the box. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on this TriStar shotgun. If we can help you out with something, give us a call at Maverick Gun Works. All right, thanks for watching.